Hello Leo, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, current energy, and immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Leo, let's jump in and see what we've got for you guys today. Let's start with looking what you've been dealing with, Leo. This is for Leo's recent past. What has Leo been dealing with, and what do they need to know about it? Whoa. Your commitment is being tested. Confidence is your key to success. Okay. So definitely experiencing some obstacles and challenges, and just overall, I feel like this is kind of the energy of like life kind of kicking you while you're down. I can certainly relate to that. I think that this has been a really challenging time for a lot of people, it feels like. But I do feel with this confidence is key to your success card. Like this is, I feel like this reminder that you are capable of overcoming whatever has been placed in your path, but your confidence in your ability to do that and the belief that you are supported by the universe is really going to dictate the outcome for you. So I do think that, this past energy, and maybe you are still kind of dealing with this has been very challenging, but I feel like on the other side of this, there will be some relief and possibly even some rewards. So let's see, current energy for Leo. What does Leo need to know about their current energy? Believe in the impossible. You and your loved ones are safe, and work through your fears. So dealing with maybe a lot of the unknown right now, wondering, am I going to be okay? Are the people that I love going to be okay? Am I going to get through this? Like, is there another side to this? And I feel like this time that you're going through is not necessarily an indication that things are going wrong, but it's almost as if this is an opportunity. One of the things that I've learned, especially recently on my path, is that obstacles and challenges give us the opportunity to show up as the person that we say that we are. So when it comes to manifesting a better life or a better relationships for yourself, or whatever the case is, it's easy to show up in faith that things are going to work out when things are going well, right? It's easier to do what's best for you. It's easier to make healthy choices. But when we experience those obstacles and challenges, it creates a lot of space for our fear to start to creep in. Or the unknown is your ego's worst nightmare, not just yours, but any human being's ego's worst nightmare, because it's unpredictable. There's, a lack of control there. But the way that we show up in those periods of our life is actually what creates either a positive or negative reality. So when we're able to show up with faith and the belief that things are working out for us, sometimes we can even create miracles that we wouldn't be able to create if we are coming from this place of believing that things aren't going to happen in the way that we deserve. So I feel like some of those messages can be a little bit triggering, especially if you are going through a hard time. So please don't think that this is me saying that there's like a right or wrong way to be in this energy. I feel like this is more what I'm trying to just say is like trying to hold on to the belief that things are going to work out in your favor, and believing that you are safe and supported through this period is going to lead you to better outcomes. I don't know. I feel like this is kind of a complicated energy. I mean, and we are just looking at overall energy. So when we dive deeper into this story, I think there will be a little bit more clarity there. But what does Leo need to know about their future energy? What does Leo need to know about their immediate future energy? Show the world the real you. Oh, okay. Hold your vision. Show the world the real you and hold your vision here. Okay. I think that it's almost like you're in the middle of the journey of creating something, of manifesting something. And when you're in the journey of creating something, of manifesting something, you are guaranteed to experience obstacles and challenges and setbacks. It's how you deal with those that determines where you go. So as you move forward, this is very much about staying true to who you are and what you believe you deserve, because a lot of times it's really easy to kind of get shaken up by what's going on around us, because, especially when there's a lot that's out of your control, a lot that's very unpredictable. And the more that we allow the experiences around us to dictate how we show up, the more that our reality is just going to be a product of our reaction to it. I saw something the other day that was like, healing happens when you make conscious choices instead of repeating old survival patterns. And sometimes when we're trying to create better, it's about having to consciously decide to do things differently, to show up differently, to choose to believe in better outcomes, even when it feels like it's not happening. And when we're willing to kind of stay true to that typically things end up working out even better than we think that they will. So another thing that I notice is all of these cards are purple, right? Which is very much speaking to like crown chakra kind of energy, like divine connection, divine guidance. So I feel like knowing that you are very divinely supported through this time, I think can really help. But let's just keep going. This is just overall energy still. We're going to clarify these a little bit. So I want to know more about this your commitment is being tested card here for Leo's past energy. And I don't feel like this is your commitment to necessarily like somebody else or like to a certain path. This feels like your commitment to yourself. Your commitment to believing that you're deserving of better, and that you're deserving of things, working out in your favor. Almost like the commitment to the path of creating better for yourself. A lot of times when we are faced with obstacles and challenges in our life, we have a tendency to fall back into old patterns and to fall back into maybe making unhealthy choices. And the more that, again, we can try to not do that and consciously make better decisions, the better things tend to be in the end. Now you have this Queen of Swords with this Eight of Cups in reverse. So this Eight of Cups in reverse is kind of this energy of maybe feeling a little bit lost, a little bit hopeless, very unsure of what to do or what the right choice is. Now, this Queen of Swords is kind of cutting through the static of all of that, because I think a lot of times we think that we need to always have the right answers to like what our next move is and exactly how we need to handle things. And a lot of times surrendering to the process of letting things unfold is the right answer. So, I think that in this past energy that you've been dealing with, I think that this darkness that you've kind of been having to wade through, these difficult, like kind of like trials, tribulations, things of that nature, I feel like and I'm going to say this and then I'm going to elaborate on it. I think that the more that you can look at this as an opportunity to create better, instead of coming from this place of, this is, ruining my life, I'm never going to be happy, I'm never going to be able to create the life that I want, I think that the perspective that you take is going to matter a lot. And I think that especially the way that these cards are kind of laid out here is it's like, try to believe that this is happening for a reason. Like, try to believe that you are divinely supported through this period. But let's see, current energy for Leo. This definitely feels like a when it rains, it pours kind of energy. So maybe just one thing after another, just feeling as if, which it can be really easy to lose your faith in those periods, right? When you're just like, no matter how hard I try, life keeps kicking me while I'm down. But I feel like, again, the way you show up in this period is going to determine how things end up in the end. So let's see. Current energy for Leo. Work through your fears. Let's elaborate on this a little bit more. Yeah. feeling a little bit trapped here. The Five of Swords is this feeling a little bit defensive, almost like feeling very like it's you against the world, like very alone, maybe even very much in this energy of like, I'm not supported, like there's no way the universe has my back, like starting to really doubt that. And I think that that is completely normal and completely natural. You know, I think that when I speak of believing that things are going to work out for you in the end, it's not saying that you need to 100% of the time believe that everything is happening, exactly like you want it to and not waver on that belief. That's not at all what it is. But one of the keys to manifesting the outcomes that we deserve and the outcomes that we desire is acting as if. That's really like the key to creating whatever it is that we want. And what that means is we can believe whatever you want. Believe that the universe isn't supporting you, because you can't just switch your beliefs overnight. Believe that you're not being guided. Believe that this is happening to you, not for you. But you don't have to act that way, right? You can act as if you are guided, as if you are supported, as if the universe does have your back. And typically, however we act is going to be what we create. If you break down the law of attraction, it's your thoughts become your beliefs, become your actions, become your reality. So a lot of time, if we want to change the way that we believe, because I do with this Eight of Swords, you are facing your limiting beliefs in real time. The beliefs that you aren't lovable, you aren't deserving, it's not possible, you are not capable. Like these kind of trials and tribulations are bringing up all of the fear that it's never going to happen for you. And you have to experience that. There's no way around that. But you don't have to act on it. You can act as if things are going to work out. You can act as if you are fully supported and fully guided through this period. And I think that on the other side of that, you're going to see that to be true. Because again, this is like very much, especially with the show The World, the Real You, and that your commitment is being tested. This is very much your commitment to yourself and showing up better to create better. And again, it's easy when things are going well, not so easy when things are not going well. But what does Leo need to know about this future energy? Show the world the real you here. One more. The Seven of Wands and the Emperor. This is very much about taking charge. It's like not like literally taking on this energy of I am not willing to settle or accept anything less than what I deserve. One of the things that I talk about a lot is like, I'll say manifesting is actually pretty easy. It's really a two-step process. You have to get very clear on what you want and then basically say no to anything that isn't that. Obviously, it's not that easy, right? In theory, sure. In practice, not so much. But this is very much about stepping into the power of your ability to co-create. And I think that a lot of that is your ability to kind of look at the fact that you have more control over your reality than you think you do. But it is not about controlling the people around you or, trying to manipulate outcomes or anything like that. It's about showing up in the best way that you can for yourself. Your response to your reality is what creates your reality. We are either reacting to what's happening to us or we're responding. So since 95% of our movements, choices, and decisions stem from our subconscious and only 5% of the way that we interact with our reality tends to be conscious decision making, our subconscious patterns, which are going to be a result of how we've learned to survive, like our survival patterns, which might not always be the best decisions for us, though we're going to have this instinct of acting a certain way, behaving a certain way. You're going to want to react to what's happening, react with fear or with control or with, a lack of faith, whatever the case might be. And that is instinctual. But in order to create different, because your subconscious patterns have gotten you here, and if you're not where you want to be, you've got to override those patterns and choose differently, act differently. And that's what this energy is about. It's about showing up in your power to be able to say, okay, if I'm unhappy with the way that things are and I'm not where I want to be, and I know that these certain actions lead to these certain outcomes, then what can I do differently? How can I show up better for me? How can I make better decisions for me? And as you show up in that energy, you're going to create better, because showing up better is going to lead to better outcomes. So I think that this is a lot about, again, when we go through kind of trials, tribulations, things of that nature, it really is this opportunity for us to show up as the person that we say that we are, that we say that we want to be. And the more that we show up as that person, the more we're going to create a reality that aligns with that person. So it's good, but it's challenging. So I don't want to take away from the experience, but this can be looked at in a positive light. I do truly believe that. Let's get you an overall theme here. Leo, overall theme for this reading. What does Leo need to know in order to move forward in alignment with their higher self? Amplify your positive emotions, be in service, and then assurance. I think that and then you have hope and happiness. I think you have a lot of reasons to slip into a negative thought loop right now, a negative mentality. Things aren't working out. I'm never going to get to where I want to be. No matter how hard I try, things will never work out. And again, when we're deep in the unknown, there's a lot that's out of our control, but there is also a lot that is in your control. And what that is going to be your thoughts and your actions, the way that you think about your reality and the way that you show up in your reality. And if you can amplify the positive aspects of that assurance here, you're going to create better. Now, this be in service card to me is operating from the place of trying to reach the outcome of the highest good for all. So what is going to be best for you? What's going to be best for the people around you, whatever that might look like. I think that this is about, first of all, you're not supposed to have all the answers right now. So don't be worried if you feel like you're confused about how to move forward. Just try to make better decisions than you have in the past. I feel like that is the best piece of advice that is coming through in this reading, is like, just try to make better choices, or more aligned choices that align with what's best for you and with what you deserve and with the belief that you are supported by a higher power. Like, try your hardest to make decisions and act as if those things are true. And I think that if you are able to do that, which you are able to, but it's really, really hard, because again, instinctually, you're going to want to react a certain way. Then the outcome is going to be even better than you think. So I feel like this is honestly Spirit's way of kind of reminding you that you are more powerful than you think, and that you do have more control than you think. But it's not over what's happening to you, it's how you respond. And you're being given an opportunity to respond with almost like a more, like a wiser version of you, or like a more aligned version of you. I'm trying to think of a better word for that. Like I guess more elevated version. So I think that this is going to work out better than you think. I really do. But let's see, Leo, looking at your recent past, what does Leo need to know about what they've been dealing with? Your commitment is being tested. 8 of Cups in reverse. What does Leo need to know about what they've been dealing with? The Magician in reverse. Oh, no, Magician upright. The Justice in reverse. And there's the 5 of Swords. Okay. I don't want to take away from the fact that I think that what you are going through probably seems very unfair. And I don't want to say that it's not unfair. What I do want to say is that every thing that we ever go through, we really have one of 2 options. We can allow it to move us forward in a negative way, or we can transmute it into something positive. And you're being asked to do the latter, to transmute it into something positive. Now, here's the problem, is I feel like there is a very strong negative expectation of how things are going to work out. It's almost like you're used to things not working out in your favor. You're used to, maybe even getting screwed over, or the bad guy is always, winning, or whatever the case is. And it doesn't always have to be like that, though. And I feel like in this specific situation, it feels like you have the power actually to change the outcome. But it's not about it's about how you show up. It's 100% how much control you have over yourself during this period. So what this is trying to say is you don't need to worry about what's going on around you. You don't need to worry about what everyone else is thinking, what everyone else is doing, what everyone else has done. Easier said than done. You don't need to worry about that. All you need to worry about is you, and making sure that you are showing up in the best way for you. And I think that if you do that, you're going to realize that we don't have to worry so much about whether somebody's going to take accountability, or whether someone's going to get what they do or don't deserve, or how someone treats us. Because a lot of times when we worry so much about everyone else around us, we give away our power, and we start to focus on what somebody else needs to do in order for us to be happy. This is about you recognizing that your power lies in your response. And your response it needs to be aligned with, and I think it will be, based on what I can tell, based on the collective that I think I'm speaking to. But your response needs to be aligned with essentially aligning with your higher self. Like, what would the bravest, most emotionally intelligent, most lovable / loving version of yourself do? And kind of amplify your positive impact in this situation. Because what you've been going through, justice in reverse, unfair. Okay, I don't want to say it's not. But if there's anything that I've learned, it's that there are a lot of things in this life that are very unfair. And it's not, when we focus so much on how unfair life is, we start to feel really powerless. We start to focus on how, no matter how hard we try, life is just unfair. And although that can feel true sometimes, especially when life is kind of kicking you while you're down, it doesn't have to be true. And I think that that's what this reading is trying to tell you, is what you are used to the outcome being doesn't have to be the outcome anymore. You can show up differently and show up better for yourself to create better. Now, sometimes what that means is withdrawing your energy and just kind of letting, for me, I think I've learned that sometimes you just have to make peace with other people, and being where they're at, and just trust that the darkness is going to come to the light, and that, eventually the good guys do win. I think that so I've watched a lot of, my husband really likes Marvel, the Marvel series. So I've watched a lot of superhero movies in the time that we've been together. And one of the things that I've noticed about, not all of them, but the majority of them, is that there is always a point in the movie where it feels as if there is absolutely no way that the good guys are going to win. You're like, this is it. There's no way. And then, eventually, things turn around, something crazy, miraculous happens, and the good guys win. But it's because they keep fighting for it, right? It's right when things feel like they're not going to work out, you can either give up, or you can keep fighting for what is right and keep fighting for what you deserve. And if you are able to do that, that's where that's where miracles happen. But sometimes it means kind of just letting things play out, and showing up only when kind of prompted, when you need to. Because we have to find that tricky balance between showing up for ourselves and not trying to control so much, which is where the co-creation process comes in. You are very supported, you are very guided. So I think this is good. I do. I really, really do. So what does Leo need to know about their current energy? Hope this is making sense, because I feel like these are kind of some more complicated topics here. Current energy for Leo. You know what this reminds me of? I was is it the Taurus reading, I think, was talking about kind of like a karmic win. Current energy for Leo. Work through your fears with the 5 of Swords. It's not necessarily the same kind or the same reading, but if you have Taurus in your chart, or if you're dealing with a Taurus, maybe there's something in that reading for you. 7 of Cups. So yeah, okay, there's the fear. I knew we were going to see it. The Moon. There's the 8 of Swords. We are overwhelmed right now. We're lost. We're confused. We don't really know what to do. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of anxiety. And this is the second time I'm seeing the Knight of Swords in reverse too. So right now, Spirit is asking you to slow down. To slow down a little bit and just be... Sometimes when we don't know what to do, and we don't know what the right answer is, sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing and to allow the answer to come to you. And I feel like right now, the more that you try to force a certain outcome or force a certain answer, the more that you might be reacting. When we slow down and when we allow ourselves to process everything that we're feeling, all of the sadness, all of the fear, all of the anxiety, we got to kind of sit with it. We got to allow the discomfort to be there. And then on the other side of that is clarity. So right now, if you're rushing for an answer or rushing for a solution, again, you might be in a state of reacting, in a state of repeating patterns, in a state of allowing your survival patterns to take hold. And that sometimes can lead to outcomes that aren't necessarily desired. So best thing you can do right now is slow down, sit with where you're at, and work on amplifying your positive emotions. Trying your hardest to direct your energy to perspectives such as, I am supported, I am guided, this is going to work out for the highest good of all, I know that I'm going to be okay, I know that the universe has my back. You don't need to fully believe those things, but try your hardest to direct your perspective in that way. Because the more that you react, you're just going to recreate old outcomes. The more that you respond and you act as if those things are true, the more that you're going to create better. So, I mean, this is kind of just absolutely clarifying what we know so far. I feel like we're just kind of diving deeper. So don't worry about not having all the answers. Don't worry about not knowing exactly what to do. Don't worry about not knowing how this is all going to turn out. Trust. Let go and trust. Stay true to yourself. Stay true to the belief that you are deserving and capable and lovable and all those things. And I think you're going to see that those things can be true as long as you act as if they are true. I saw something recently that actually has been helping me a lot. So I've been talking about it in readings, and it basically was like, everything is always okay in the end. And if it is not okay, then it is not the end yet. So sometimes we're still in the middle of a journey, and we have to just kind of trust the process of that journey. What does Leo need to know moving forward? Show the world the real you with the Emperor here. What does Leo need to know moving forward? Strength, which remember, we did see confidence was your key to success. So this is all about that inner confidence, baby. I mean, I think that we forget the 10 of Swords in reverse. Oh, you will make it through this. You're going to make it through this, Leo. I think you're going to, sometimes, and again, I don't want to downplay what you're going through, okay? I don't. But sometimes, because there's the Ace of Pentacles, there's the Seven of Pentacles, sometimes we make things a hell of a lot worse in our head. And I'm not saying that what you're going through isn't, worth the mental anguish that you might be experiencing. But again, a lot of times it feels a lot worse in our head. And we have a tendency to focus on, negative outcomes and worst case scenarios and things of that nature. And that sometimes can get us really, really wrapped up in our fear. And the more that we can separate ourselves from that mental process and try again to focus on consciously creating a different process for ourselves. And a lot of that is like we have neural pathways in our brain, okay? And it's basically you have certain beliefs and how you need to respond to those beliefs and habits that have been created throughout your experience. And the only way for us to create a different outcome is to change our approach. But you're having to completely retrain your brain to look at, process, and react to life differently. So, and in theory, it's easy, right? Just respond differently than you're used to responding. Consciously respond rather than subconsciously reacting. It's not so easy. It takes a lot of awareness. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of willingness to sit with the hard stuff. But I think that if you do that, like, look at this. You have the Seven of Pentacles and you have the Ace of Pentacles here. There are opportunities for, I feel like these are the opportunities that you deserve that are on the other side of this. Like, I feel like this is just confirmation. Like, you're going to get through this. One way or another, you're going to get through this. But the only way through it is through it. So, allow yourself to work through everything you need to work through. Act as if everything's going to be okay. Act as if you are fully 1,000,000% supported. Act as if you are so loved beyond measure and that you are so guided and that you have a spiritual team around you that is supporting you through every single step you take. Act as if those things are true and you're going to start to see and experience them being true. All right, Leo. We're going to hop on over to the extended. I'm going to dive deeper into these messages, focusing on like tangible advice for what you can do right now to move forward in alignment with your higher self. And then I have an advice card to pull from your spiritual team at the very end. Thank you so much, Leo, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope, obviously, that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Leo, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Leo.